Alright, hello fellow reefers, and as always I hope you're having a good day. Some of you are probably getting very mad at me that I make very long videos and cut them in half. I'm sorry, it's just I talk a lot about my stuff, and yeah. So, this is my corals part 2. So, I was talking about how I got this coral from Battle Corals, the one with the good pulp extension, and I also got this yellow tort, yellow tort from him, and it also encrusted very fast. So I don't know what he's doing over there, if he's, sprinkling them with Miracle Grow or what, but all the corals I got from him grow really fast, like I said. The only downside is the shipping is expensive, but, for good growth, whatever, I'll pay the extra couple dollars. Alright, so I got this guy, too, from him, and this is supposed to be a Sean Bennett yellow tort. I wanted a yellow coral, but when I got him, it turned green. So, no worries, whatever, it's green. What I think SPS turning green is an indication of high iron or something in the tank, but I'm not all into the, checking the iron and potassium right now. I have no need for it, everything's doing fine. I like the colors of my corals. So yeah, this is growing really fast. The tip all the way to the right, how it's a little white, it's starting to grow up now. It finished encrusting for now, I think, and now it's growing up, so that's cool. I think this is going to be a big grower, fast grower, so I really like that. It's going to, look really cool in this little SPS valley. And then you see that yellow one in the back that actually looks yellow. When I first got it, it was like almost white/yellow with like a fluorescent hue under the actinics. I got that one from the local fish store. It was just supposed to be a bally coral. It was only one of those, like mud pie looking frag plugs, so it was probably aquacultured out in the ocean. I have something else to say about, getting corals like from someone fragging them in their system compared to growing out in the ocean. So I got him from the local fish store. This is like my second SPS I got. It actually broke off of the bigger colony, which is that guy there. And, I was like, oh, well, you know what, I'll put him over here. So I got him over here. This coral and this coral, we'll talk about them in the same. They don't do nothing. I got them. It changed colors a little bit. It doesn't grow. It actually, on the very right, you can probably see it. It bleached out along with the staghorn over there. I'm thinking they bleached out because of the changing of salts with the alkalinity fall. But it didn't all bleach out. I didn't get a chance to frag it off because I don't have bone cutters, and I didn't want to disturb it by ripping it off the rock. So we'll see what they do. They're just hanging out there. It's actually a really boring coral to watch because it doesn't grow. It kind of just sits there, and it just reminds me that it bleached. I don't like that. So we'll see what it does. But on to the topic real quick about corals that have been fragged and given to you from a system compared to being, aquacultured in the ocean or wherever they've come from. If you can get corals that have been propagated, fragged, and given to you from people that grow them into your system. I mean, most of you, it's probably common sense, but if you get something that's been grown in their system, it probably likes, reef aquarium parameters and isn't hard to keep and grows nicely. This, I made a mistake. I got it. It was aquacultured from Bali, so it was probably out in the ocean, and then, they took a frag off of it, and now I put it in my aquarium, and it doesn't like my parameters. It probably wants, ocean parameters, and that's another reason it's probably not doing too well. So hopefully maybe with some time it'll adjust and start growing, because it is a beautiful coral, but right now it's just not doing anything and it's boring. So right below that, this guy is he's one of my favorite corals. He's a frog spawn. Like I said in my past video, I'm a big torch coral kind of guy. You know what, I'm just going to change that. I'm a big Euphilia kind of guy. I love all Euphilia. I don't have any bubble coral or hammer coral right now. That's my next Euphilia I want to get. But this guy is he's huge right now. He's not even extended all the way. I got him as a single one head frag from the local fish store. He was almost clear, washed out. He wasn't doing too well there. Brought him home. I had him in my pico tank. I actually had a couple of these corals in my pico tank. I had the people eaters, the man eaters, whatever they're called. I had them in my 2-gallon, and I had this guy in my 2-gallon. I only had the 2-gallon for a year. I didn't want to invest much in it. It was just kind of more of, can I keep a reef tank, before I started spending mucho dollars on a bigger system. So I got him as a one-head frag. He didn't do anything in the pico tank. Really, none of my corals did anything good in the pico tank. People that have SPS pico tanks, like, I don't know how you do it. I don't have that, you know, willpower to change water all the time and keep the parameters that consistent. So like I said, one head frag, put him in here, and he just took off. He grows like no other. One head turned into 2, turned into 3. I just checked last night. He's got 4 heads, and he's also branching little baby heads off his stalk. So he's gonna branch out, and this is probably gonna be, you know, a centerpiece. I'm probably just gonna keep him on this rock. I might do some more frog spawns on the side of him, but I don't know if I want to disrupt him. I think I just want to keep him, you know, and make him a giant frog spawn on that rock. I think that'd look really cool. Let me know what you guys think about that. I did have my one torch coral next to him, and it's a debate whether, you know, torch corals can or different euphyllias can stay with each other. I didn't really like the way they were looking. They weren't fighting, but they weren't both fully extended, so I just put the torch coral with the torch coral. This is going to be, you know, my torch coral garden. You don't really hear about that. You hear about zoo gardens. Well, this whole area up there is going to be my torch coral garden. So yeah, that's him. Now here's another one. I lied. I had a couple more in my pico tank. This one right here is a green star polyp. This is my very first coral I ever got. It actually grew in the pico tank, which was cool. But it was encrusted under the rock, and I tried to, because it was growing like a lot. Like, this thing was crazy in the pico tank, because that pico tank was kind of dirty. It loved it in there, so it grew really fast, and I tried to save it with the rock. I tried to scrape it off the rock, but it wasn't working, and I didn't put those rocks in the system for other reasons. So it just kind of dried up, and I felt bad because I killed the coral, but I tried. So this thing, it just went through so many different things in my pico tank, but it grows in here not as fast because I keep clean parameters. And I don't know if this was just like a fluke, but I saw the hippo tang swim over here, bite one of the polyps off, and spit it out. So I don't know if he just thought it was nori or what he was doing. Now, he doesn't nip any other corals that I've seen, that little monster, but let me know if he's have any experience with that. Going down here is my colt coral. I didn't know what this was for a while because the the local fish store didn't have it listed, and I just picked it up. But it's a colt coral. I keep it down here by itself because that's just where I put it before I knew what it was. I googled it via Live Aquaria. They say it's kind of semi-aggressive, so I keep it away from my other leather coral, my toadstool. I do run carbon, so I'm not too worried about them leaching out like chemical warfare and messing up with my LPS and my SPS, so that hasn't been a problem yet. But it's cool. This thing grows like a monster. It's not even fully extended right now. This thing shrivels up to the size of your thumb, but then and when it's fully expanded during midday, it'll be as big as your hand. So it's just wild how it grows. Like, I can't even tell, like, I can't give you a scale of how big it grows, because every time I look at it, it's a different shape. It might be small. It's small in the morning, then it's really big at night, and then it's open all night long. It's a really weird coral, but I really like it the way it flows, and like I said, it does grow fast. I just can't give you like a good guesstimate of how big it is because it's a different size every day. Here's my toadstool. I really like toadstools. I'm looking for a green toadstool, but everybody that's selling them, they're really small. They're like an inch. I don't want an inch toadstool. I want like a nice big one like that, like a 5-inch toadstool, you know. So I'm looking for that. So if you guys have any, hit me up. So I got this from the local fish shop too. Oh, and in another video I was talking about where I get my different corals from. I get my leathers from my local fish store, my LPS from uniquecorals.com, and then my SPS right now is from battlecorals.com. I just do that because I've had the most success with each of those places, with those different types of coral. I mean, I'm very sure everybody, like online vendors, have nice soft corals, but I'm not willing to pay, you know, $50 for a frag of a soft coral. Now, for a high-end SPS frag, I'll pay the $50. So I just go to the local fish store because they have cheap soft coral. They get them in all the time. I got this for, I think, $5. It was pretty small. It was probably, I don't know. It was a little bit smaller than that, and it was brown and ugly. I put it in my tank because I love toadstools too. within a week, it changed from that ugly, nasty, it had like black polyps. I don't know what they were doing in there. It was in their frag section, their soft coral frag section for like $5, $10, whatever I said. And now it's a beautiful coral. I'll do a little close-up on it. It's got these beautiful white, long tentacles that flow in the current. Sometimes I'll walk in and they're closed up, so I think the clownfish play in it. And then when it's closed up, it's got like a fluorescent green hue on its like the top and the tentacles are in, so that's cool. I'm running out of time, so I'm going to end up with some fast. I got this Gregorian. It's really cool. It didn't like the flow of my tank for the first month. It would always close up. Now it's got adjusted, especially with the vortex going through different cycles, so I gave it a nice little like time so it can sway in the current along with the LPS. I like it. I don't know if it's grown. It's one of those corals that I can't even tell. I've looked at pictures of when I first got it. I think it's grown, but who knows? I don't know. It plays like a Jedi mind trick on me. And then up here on SPS Mountain, this whole thing is going to be SPS too, because they're doing wonderful. I have a habit of breaking SPS corals, and I just put them in different spots. This is a Sean Bennett coral, encrusted super fast. See on the bottom the ring. I don't know if it'll focus. Nope. There's a bottom ring on it where I puttied it, and it encrusted over that, and it's just going crazy. And then there's another one. I don't know if you can see. I got that from Battle Corals too, the one on the left. It was one of, you know how those like people create wild names for their SPS. I think it was called like Space Ghost or something like that, and that was actually a freebie from him because I only bought a couple corals, so I got a freebie from him, so I was pretty psyched about that. It encrusts really fast. Its polyps are out, makes me happy. It's got good color. It's growing. But again, I don't know the exact name of it. I just know that he named it as Space Ghost. I think it might be an Acropora, not 100% sure. Alright guys, so this is all my corals. I went in depth. This is a little tank. I'm sorry about the glare in the back. Yep, hello, that's me. So this is my tank. I hope everybody has a good day, and as always, I'll talk to you in my other video.